Oh, it's that time. It's actually the favorite aspect of our Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, besides the wine that Chuck loves so much. Chuck Gillentine, busy behind the scenes, getting ready for a big dinner tonight. And we're going to talk about Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. You're like, hey, can I have that?
It didn't look like my screensaver.
How are you, my friend?
It's been a busy day, getting ready for a busy night.
Yeah, you are.
Beautiful, beautiful day. It's been a good week out here.
Yeah.
No complaints.
No kidding. The weather's been, I was going to ask you that. The weather's been amazing. So have you been busier than you normally would be?
It's all weather related. We're fairly busy on the hot days for hot weather. But today, the last 3 days, we've been pretty busy.
Well, you're going to have 95-degree heat this weekend.
Oh, I know. I can't wait.
You're going to have sweaty people dancing to good music.
Yeah, well, they're going to have fun.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the bands, by the way, that will be here this weekend because they got a great lineup. But they're busy tonight getting ready for this. A lot of you know this has been one of my favorite wines for a while. Actually, somebody said, how come you didn't name a dog Caymus? And I said, that's the next dog that's coming.
That's a great name.
Caymus? I'm surprised you don't have a dog named Caymus.
We have Stony.
Stony.
Stony doesn't look like a Caymus.
Look at this. We're double fisting today. 40th anniversary, 50th anniversary.
Yeah, it's wait till you taste the wines. You'll be amazed the difference in vintages, the year, and what 10 years does.
And so I literally walked in and said, "Is it that different? Like drastically?" And he said,
"It is very much different."
So that's the whole thing that we always talk about, just how different the wine can be. So you might fall in love with a particular wine and then you are like, oh, but this particular year doesn't taste like this. Tell them why so much changes year after year.
Well, it's all in the weather. 2012, when the 40th was made, was if you remember, a very, very hot summer.
2012, yes.
Yeah, it was extremely hot. Here, the grapes get ripe faster. West Coast is different because they have, different tendencies in the weather that they can deal with. And it was predicted that 12 may be the best vintage in California in history.
That's what I had heard.
And
I've bought a lot of 12s because of that marketing. I've always wondered, is it a marketing tool or is it really true?
No, it's true. Now, it turns around that 13 was very good too. And some think that maybe 13 was better than 12. But
what do you think?
Well, it's very interesting. From tasting this wine, you'll see how good it is at its age. And it's hard to argue that, and the fact that they control so many acres of Cabernet. I think it's close to 350 acres just in Napa Valley.
Wow.
And this is a family that started in 1972 with 52 acres of vines.
And it's crazy. We're going to show you some history between these two that we're going to be tasting tonight. I hope some of you heard over the last few weeks about this dinner that they're going to have tonight. Bought your tickets. If not, these are things you don't want to wait on. It's a 5-course dinner tonight?
5-course dinner. We have start with a Chardonnay and a Viognier, and then we're doing an Italian wine, and then we're doing these, and we have a champagne course at the end with strawberry shortcake.
I looked
homemade
at your menu.
Strawberry shortcake.
Homemade.
It's amazing.
Well, my husband's happy about your 4th course because he likes beef.
Oh, he'll love this course. It's we took Circle 6.
You work with Tiffany?
Well, these were some short ribs we've had, and he reduced them down and cooked them, and oh my gosh, they're delicious.
You all, by the way, that have been following along, Circle 6 is where we are. So, by the way, you need to mark October 4th on your calendar because we need you to come down the street and come celebrate with us. Our 400th celebration will be down at the Watering Hole.
Oh, wow.
With Tiffany and the crew with Circle 6. So we need to collaborate. We're putting a bunch of ideas together, what we want to do that night.
I've been purchasing some meat from home from them. It's good.
Oh, my gosh. It's very, very good. So let me see how well I looked at your menu. You're going to start with some seared scallops. That's course 1.
And
you have a mushroom pizza?
It is a mushroom style of pizza. It's going to be served on a small dish, and that's going to be with the Italian wine. It's a great pairing.
I'm forgetting. That's your 3rd course. I'm forgetting your 2nd course.
The Viognier course is the mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
On we actually have got it in and Parmesan cheese crusted. They've got it baked and serve it in it, so you can eat the whole thing.
That sounds dangerous, doesn't it? Mac and cheese, then the pizza, then the beef course.
The beef course,
which is it in a? It's in a wine, isn't it? Is it made that way?
He reduced some Cabernet down and cooked it. He slowly cooked it for hours and hours, braised it, and we're using some garden vegetables in with some things also, but not with the beef course. But the beef course you'll love.
Your mac and cheese course, you're doing vegetable mac and cheese.
Yeah, vegetable mac and cheese, and the beef course you'll love. It was tasting last Friday. I thought I had gone to heaven. Well, you're a beef lover. Jim will love it.
Oh, okay.
I hope he really loves it.
Oh, I can guarantee he will. And that's the course that you're doing this side-by-side comparison.
Yes, that's the course. We're actually going to do an all beef dinner in 2 months in October.
Oh, okay.
With a new family farm out in western Missouri.
What?
And I can't say yet because the contract's not done. But
come on, we want breaking news.
But yesterday we were given some samples from the supplier, and I grilled last night a beef tenderloin and a strip steak, and it was like Wagyu.
Wow.
It was that good.
Well, and that's the whole thing. We always talk about supporting local businesses and then those business supporting all those around them. That's what I love. And I love the fact that you're using some things.
This company is really huge. They to be dealing with our purveyor, which is PFG. They're a great group to deal with. It's the old Mittendorf family. For years and years.
Known them forever.
Yeah. So we've been dealing with the Mittendorf family for 2008.
I first heard that name back when I was a waitress when I was 18, and we used to have all their meat when I used to waitress.
Used to go through the plant,
yep,
and watch them process and do things, and it was pretty cool.
Yep, their level of attention.
Not the detail processing.
No, just, that I don't want to watch. If you're just tuning in and you're new to Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, we do this for you now every other Wednesday at Defiance Ridge Vineyards. And I actually pulled some pictures up, some new pictures, and I want you, when you first drive up, to see this. I love water, and they've got this cool fountain, and you've got some swans in there.
We shits and giggles.
If you haven't heard,
not escaped for the last 6 weeks.
That's what I wanted to know, because they have gotten out, and then the neighbors are like, "Hey, this shits and giggles over here."
We're in the process of building them a little house.
Okay,
and hopefully that'll help.
They originally were Augusta and Defiance, and their names got switched because they're little brats.
That's right.
You have a lot of weddings here, so people think about if you're maybe somebody you know is getting engaged, you might want to have them come and check out the space here.
Our space is nice. I mean, we're planning to build another event building, starting preliminary thoughts and working with architecture and all that kind of stuff. So that will be nice. Great
weddings, great events. If you've got an event and it doesn't matter the size, small, large, etc., they can take care of it for you. And then just come and enjoy the wine, the food, great music. I mentioned, do you have big rigs this weekend?
I believe so. I will be leaving Monday to take a trip to Maine. I'm going to be a busy guy trying to get ready to go.
I'm going to pull your calendar up. So the big farmhouse dinners tonight, starting at 6:00 through 9:00, and then the summer concert series, the Big Rigs, on Friday from 4 to 9:30. They're open. Trixie Delight Duo is on Saturday, and then Scott and Carl, one of my favorites. Yep. Tell them I said hi because I can't. Well, actually,
I won't be here Sunday, so
I might be able to run by. We're going to be out in Augusta. We might be able to run by and tease them.
That's our last summer concert with Platinum Rock.
So that'll be next Friday,
a week from Friday. Yes.
Okay, Platinum Rock Legend. So put those on your calendar. And if you want to see deeper into September, October, just go to defianceridge.com and then click on their calendar. All right, let's look at the background. You have been friends with Chuck Wagner and the Wagner family for how long?
Going on 13 years.
And so how did this relationship start?
It's a funny relationship. You know my buddy Norm.
I do.
Has this little B&B down the street.
Yep.
Well, 2012 May, right before the heat came in, I got a call from Norm, and Norm said, "Guess who is spending the next 4 days with me?" And I said, "This is a typical Norm story." I said, "Norm, I don't know. How would I know?"
Exactly.
And he said, "Chuck Wagner from Caymus."
And you said?
And I said, "I know who." I said BS. First.
Exactly. I was going to say, you're like, no, he's not.
I said BS. And then he said, "Well, you're going to get a call in a few minutes from his Secretary Suzanne Phillipson, which I know her very, very well now also. And Suzanne called me like 5 minutes later and said, "Would you be willing to show Mr. Wagner around the state?"
No.
And I just, it was 4 great days. He came in and, he was doing dishes for Norm. We did a bonfire one night. We took him to Herman, went through the caves.
Oh, very cool.
He loves Missouri, and he's been back several times. I did a dinner with him at Chandler Hill, and also one here. He's always returns text when you text him. I get
That
to see him a
speaks
couple of
volumes about a
times a year,
person.
which no, he does, and you go to Caymus, and the place is just run so well, and it's because of him and his family, and and they're known as the California wine family. They've been doing it since '72. In fact, growing grapes
Oh, wow, really?
since way before that. They were in business selling the grapes to Inglenook and all the big old players at that time. They had 50 acres of grapes, and in 1971, Chuck was in college or about to go to college, and his dad and his mother met with him, and Charlie and Lorena, and they said, "We're either going to build a winery or we're going to move to Australia."
Well, they both were good, but I'm glad they picked the winery.
No, but they said, "We will only do if we would stay here and build the winery if you do it with us." And he excuse me, he loves to tell the story because he did, and that was the beginning. The only winemaker that has won the best wine in the world twice. The only winemaker
in the world.
Well,
that's impressive.
89 and 92, I think it was. But and probably the cheapest Cabernet that
in Napa,
and that won these contests or won the best Cabernet. That's from the Wine Spectator. They produce so much Cabernet, and they have, I think, 17 wines now.
Wow, their portfolio's grown that much?
It's grown. They've got just about every grape there is that can be grown in California. And one of the best stories he ever told me was when his kids went to work for him, he gave them a brand. So he gave Joey, his second son, Pinot Noir, which they named it Mayomi.
Yes, which is very good. And I'm not a big Pinot Noir fan, but theirs is good.
Mayomi is a kind of it's a $20 wine, okay? But in 2007 they started, selling it. In 2014 they sold the brand only, just the name, to Constellation for $315 million.
Oh Lord, I think they made the right choice.
I can remember him telling Norm and I in the day that he had offers, and it started around 220, and he said, "I'm glad we waited it out."
Oh yeah, my God!
And so each kid has
Congrats,
a brand.
Guys.
Charlie has Chardonnay and Merlot, and kind of runs the Cabernet with his dad, and Jenny does Sauvignon Blanc, Zinfandel, and a couple other things.
And they also, so tell me the story, because somebody introduced me, I used to work with in television. She introduced me to Red Schooner, which is also affiliated with them.
Red Schooner is, they have 2 grapes that now they bring several grapes that grow wonderfully out of states from Australia and from in South Africa. And they bring the grapes up frozen on dry ice. And a few years ago, I was there when the grapes came in, and it was very interesting because we were sitting at his new winery in Tucson, which is enormous. And there was all these cartons of full frozen grapes, and I don't know how long they've been on the water, but they were still frozen. And so they're famous for making a big, heavy, fruit-forward wine, and some people don't like it.
I love Red Schooner.
I like Red Schooner too. We sell it here.
You do?
Yeah, we sell Red Schooner.
You've been holding out on me here.
No,
how did I not know that?
We sell it by the glass and by the bottle.
Which journey of the Red Schooner do you have?
It's the newest one.
Oh,
It's the newest
yeah.
one.
What number are
Well,
they
you
on,
can
by the
taste it
way?
tonight.
Do you
It's,
know what number they're on? Like
I want to
eight?
say this one is 12, maybe.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
behind. I was introduced to 2 and fell in love with 2, 3, 4, and then I missed a bunch and I
Well, they
saw
have a blend
7.
also now.
Huh.
It just started, and but Schooner is, I think it's up there in double
I did
digits
not
now.
know. By the way, if you're just tuning in, we're having fun talking about this. You all need to introduce yourself to these wines. The cool thing is, Chuck is very big on local Missouri and then also doing this great partnership with Napa, California. If you get a chance to go to Napa, make sure that you put Caymus on the list. Jim and I went there on
Please
our
do,
honeymoon.
and
It was our first stop, by
if
the
you
way.
go there, please email me, and I will help you out a little bit on
You
this one.
did. You hooked us up big time.
They're
That's where we started our honeymoon.
they're fantastic at hosting people.
Yeah, we had a nice little. They had a tasting thing set up, and we did a cheese charcuterie tasting. Just incredible. I
And
mean,
now
there
they
was
have
no better
another
way to
winery
start.
just over, in Susan Valley, which is it's just state of the art a tasting room that's
Okay.
freaking amazing.
So, what is that? Still Caymus, or what
Yeah,
is that?
it's
It is
Caymus
called
Susan.
Caymus Tucson.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so they grow in Susan. They grow mostly Petit Syrah, but it's just a beautiful desert setting, and it's amazing.
I want to get back because I mean, literally, I could go there every year. There's so many. I do even know how many wineries is Napa up to
There's a
now.
lot. I mean, this is one that it's so famous, and they have a lot of people to come through, but they treat you so well.
So 1972 to 2012, 40th anniversary. Tell us about this one first before we talk about the 50th.
Well, they decided to do the 40th, and then 2012 came with the great weather, and you'll. This is their regular Caymus Cabernet. I think it was rated 95 or 96. They made, I want to say it was nearly 200,000 cases,
Okay.
and they sold out allotment quickly, very, very quickly, and people were begging for it. They had to release stuff that they usually save. And when I called him when we were there, we talked about doing this, and he said, "Well, let me see what I got here that I can send you." And they had, I'm sure they don't have a whole lot left, but I mean, it was just a great year, and it's this wine is so dark and rich, and I think this one is right up your alley.
The 40th?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and he mentioned, we're going to taste this. You mentioned that there is a drastic difference from 40th to the 50th anniversary. Does it get bigger or lighter 10 years later?
I think this is not as big,
Okay.
but it's 10 years younger.
Mhm.
I know the weather the past few years most years have been good. I also know that they've grown so much
Yeah.
in the last 10 years that getting control over that many grapes, because now I think they're making like altogether 350,000 cases of
Wow.
Cabernet and then they make special selection,
Yes.
which is more like the 40th. When you taste it, I don't know what I'd love to taste a 2012 special selection with this. I don't think I have a bottle, but we do have 17 that you'll drink tonight that I'm bringing from home.
Again, when we talk about these wine dinners, the farmhouse dinners, all those, check the calendar and get those tickets early, because there's a lot of people that said that they came here, they've gone to a dinner and they thought that was such a great idea for, again, you want to do something special for someone you love. You're thinking of, I can't believe we're going to say this, but Christmas is right around the corner. So maybe you should be buying tickets for upcoming events like that. All right. You want to grab these?
Sure.
Okay.
So
hang on, folks.
The first one is the 50th. I would taste that one first. Yes.
This is 50th. Okay. We're going to do the young one first.
Yep.
And then I'll bring the other one over.
Yeah, you got to do the young one first on this one.
So this is a question that we ask a lot, as far as opening time frame of opening a wine. So this is the 50th, right? I'm going to put the 40th behind it. I just
opened these, okay.
But your dinner's at 6.
Yeah, our dinner's this won't be served till probably 8:00 tonight.
There we go.
We will open this at 6:15, 6:30.
Okay, so tell them why, because if there's people that are like, okay, I'm going to have a nice wine dinner. Oh, crap, I forgot to open the bottle. It's kind of like I forgot to unthaw the turkey for Thanksgiving.
Well, the young wine needs air. I mean, the young wine needs to decant. This older wine, probably not as much.
Okay.
It tastes like it's when I opened it. You can look at the cork.
Yep.
Look at the cork in the 12.
Mm-hmm.
And see how it's soaked in, how beautiful that is.
Yes. so we can all see that.
And the 50th is it's just it's been in bottle 2 years now or maybe a year.
It's like a little baby's butt.
Yeah, it does. It's just,
there's nothing on it at all. It's up at the top. So the 40th, you could open up.
The 40th, I think you could open up 10 minutes before you drink it.
Oh, okay. All right.
And
so
just
we're going to
pour it in
do
your glass and let it age a little bit, and get some oxygen to it.
What are you tasting, by the way? If you want to drop a comment in, I realize I haven't had a chance. I'm sorry. That's so rude. I haven't said hi to all of you. If you have any questions or any comments, Kathleen said, I would love to check out a farmhouse dinner. So make sure you check their calendar, defianceridgevineyards.com. You and your husband, by the way, would love these.
Next month is Tony Tomatoes.
Oh, tomato.
Dinner.
Yes.
And we'll be concentrating on the garden.
Oh, Caymus wine smells so amazing.
I
think it has the best nose of any wine I've ever had. Really, honestly, I know I love other wines, but I just love the nose on a Caymus. This smells like it's ready.
All the reds are yummy and jammy, and
that is a professional word. Oh my gosh, this is good. We've been tasting a lot of wonderful wines since we've been doing our collaboration with Chuck, but his relationship with the Wagner family, I absolutely love. Okay, again. This one is the 50th.
This is the 50th.
But you say I'm going to like 40th even better.
I'll let you.
I don't know. This is pretty incredible.
Oh, chef.
Come here, chef. He is so talented. Introduce your chef.
This is our chef, Chris. Chris is going to talk with you a little bit in just a minute after we finish this.
Yeah.
He's going to talk to you about our dinner tonight.
Yeah.
So
that I wish you all were here for. Again, when we talk about these, don't wait on it because this man is a magician in the kitchen. I looked at your menu already, and I'm geeking out about all of it.
Yeah, I'm just kind of checking the order on it tonight. Sometimes the orders get switched up.
Oh, okay.
So I want to make sure I talk about things in the right order.
Okay.
I'm guilty of that.
Okay, this is 50th. And to tell them, as far as the nose, if somebody wants to go out and purchase this bottle, what you think they're tasting and what they smell.
Well, this is your typical Cabernet, Napa Cabernet. Okay, it's cassis.
Cabernet. I smell a lot of fruit, a lot of floral.
I smell a lot of fruit too.
A lot of cassis, a lot of blackcurrant, cassis.
I smell tobacco. Do I?
You do get tobacco.
Yeah.
You're getting the barrel structure that Caymus uses is they do French oak and American oak.
Oh,
so it's a little different than most of the big Cabernet houses out in Napa.
Definitely very, very fruity initially, but as I swirl it around a little more, I got a nose of tobacco, cassis, yes. Okay, we're going to switch.
Okay.
We're going to go over here. By the way, I'm going to show you this on the screen again because we've got, if you want, put your glasses on and you can see some of the notes in the background. I love the history of it where it talks about Charlie's wine.
Yep.
Right? Oh, I want my own wine. Charlie's wine's here.
Well, I've got a book to give you.
No, that's right. Now this is a completely different nose.
It's rich and velvet.
Yeah, very. What do you smell in that?
And you get a little coffee in this either.
No, but what do you? Wait, but you are around so many different.
I smell maybe some oak.
Smoky.
It's smoky. It is smoky. It's got a little coffee in it too, I think.
Oh, coffee. My husband will like this one.
But this is really blackberry. And
okay, now as I started around, now I smell much more blackberry. So the fruit comes out a little bit more. We're talking about the 40th and the 50th anniversary. Again, Caymus Wines. We're going to talk to the chef here in just a second. After I taste this, he thinks I'm going to like this one better.
My. Let that baby coat your tongue.
Oh, I love them both. This
has still got a great tannin structure to it. This,
to me, is more food pairing wine. That one.
Well, this will be great with his fourth dish tonight. So,
but I like to, and this is what I always want to teach everybody. I like to find wines that if people say, "Oh, I just want to kind of hang with friends," and we don't actually have food out yet.
This is very rich.
This is rich, and I think this is much more food paired. The other one, do you agree? I think you could open up the other one and just sip on it. And you don't necessarily have to have food with it.
You can.
This one I think is more food paired.
This one is just
with his.
It's got a lot of stuff going on with it, and it's a fantastic one.
Okay, chef.
Okay,
so sit down here. Come on, sit down. Let's talk about. First of all, somebody just said I would love to check out a farmhouse dinner. So she's going to buy some tickets for a future one coming up. He was telling us that you're teaming up with Tony Tomato.
Yes,
next
for our
next
9/11 farmhouse dinner. It's going to be a good one. We're trying to, use basically everything we have growing out in the field here on property, as well as different properties that Tony has around the St. Louis area. I believe Chesterfield. Not sure on the other places.
He has the best tomatoes.
He does have great
Tony
tomatoes.
Tomato, look it up.
Tony Tomato. If you just Google Tony Tomato, I'm sure it will come up for sure.
Follow
his
him
name
on
is
socials.
actually Tony White. But yeah, so tonight, so we do these farmhouse dinners once a month. To me, it's something that gives me a chance to be, creative, something out of the box, something just, not on the regular, off of a menu, so to speak.
Yeah.
The menus are pre-planned out, but up until the day of the tasting, everything can change depending on what ingredients I have available to me.
So you might shift it. Well, we'll find out if he's changed it from what I saw online. You're going to start with some seared scallops. Is that correct?
So we are starting with seared scallop tonight. It's a U10 scallop, which basically it means you get 10 scallops to a pound on an average. So it's a really big size scallop. It's hard seared on cast iron, and I'm going to serve that on top of a summer succotash tonight, which is cut off the corn, sweet corn, lima beans. There's red bell pepper. There's fresh basil. There's onion.
I love basil.
There's a lot of different things.
My husband just showed up and he's laughing at me. I do love basil, do I not?
Cherry tomatoes off of our property
and
as well.
Tomatoes. Is it a mixture of red and yellow, or is it all red?
It's just red bell peppers on this one. Basically, yellow peppers would get lost in the corn. So.
No, the tomatoes.
Oh, the tomatoes? No, they're red cherry tomatoes.
Okay. I just love a mixture. Don't you love a mixture of orange and yellow and red, different tomatoes?
I do. There's a lot of different flavors going on. It just depends. I think you're speaking of heirloom.
Yes,
traditionally. We don't have heirloom at the moment.
That's okay. Tomatoes are good, period.
Like I said, I'm trying to use ingredients, especially this time of year for these dinners, right off the property, which is... Right. I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, after I get done with this, I'm going to go out and pick some basil that's going to be used for garnish tonight. Right outside my kitchen door.
Okay, Chef, let me ask, you know what? We didn't say. Can you give them your full name? I just keep calling him Chef.
I'm Christopher Robert Maurer.
I just know him as Chef Chris.
Yes. So I've been here about going on 6 years already. It's been a fun ride, to be honest. To watch this winery basically go from very minimal to nowadays on a Saturday and Sunday. If you show up, if you're not here by noon, there's not going to be a table for you.
Nor is there going to probably be parking.
Yeah,
you're going to be all the way down by the lake for sure.
Absolutely.
So Chef Chris is with us. We're visiting about the farmhouse dinner tonight, talking about some upcoming ones as well. So we talked about the first course. Second course, is it vegetable mac and cheese?
It is. It's actually some zucchini off the property here, a little bit of yellow squash off the property here. Then I have some sweet carrots in it as well. It's all actually some red onion. It's actually charbroiled, so it's a grilled vegetable. Let's see, what can I say about the mac and cheese? I'm doing something a little bit different. I actually made the bowls tonight out of Parmesan cheese. Basically, you melt them down a little bit, and you kind of do them over a mold. So basically, when it's served, you can eat the bowl. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
He's definitely going green.
And it's
nothing to be thrown away. Just eat it all.
And I'm making the cheese sauce with our Gouda cheese that we use here, which is from Marcoux Creamery. It's local Gouda as well. So it's a little bit different.
Doesn't it sound good?
Pasta. Didn't want to just do traditional macaroni.
No.
So, it's going to be a great dish.
We're going through 5 courses tonight of the farmhouse dinner again, and then in the 4th pairing of the 5 courses will be the 40th and the 50th anniversary wines. But before we get to the 4th, the 3rd is pizza.
So the 3rd course I'm doing it says fungi pizza, flatbread. It's mushrooms. It's a flatbread crust, fresh mozzarella cheese, portobello mushrooms that have been marinated in balsamic vinegar, char grilled, caramelized onions, which is natural caramelization. Very sweet, just gives it a great flavor.
My chef, Chris, I have it's salivating right now. I can't wait. I'm so hungry today.
It's definitely going to be good. It's going
Look,
to be
see,
interesting.
Kathleen just said my mouth is watering. Everything sounds
Absolutely.
delicious. This is why you have to get to this. He really is amazing. I've been to a handful of these dinners with my family,
Thank
my
you.
mom, my friends, and I also love your passion when you come out and you talk to the group to say, hey, this is what I prepared for you.
I mean, it's a little bit scary. It's something to get used to, I guess. I mean, I'm not used to really talking to public, but I've gotten used to it here.
Get used to it.
Hey, everybody.
Love his little beard,
Yes,
man.
I do.
I've got a little beard going on here.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great dinner, which this brings us to our fourth course.
Yes, and this is the course where, again, we're going to pair. We've been talking about the 40th anniversary. I can't wait for my husband to try this. It is, as Chuck said, drastically different from the nose to the taste, the smokiness to the fruit to the cassis that we talked about, a little bit more tannic. Again, if it's a 50th anniversary one, you might want to open it. He opened it already, and that's not going to be served until after 8:00 tonight. So few hours because it's young. The 40th anniversary, he said 10 minutes before, and you could drink it. And I agree with that. This one, you're actually pairing it with the beef that he has that is also in a reduction of Cabernet. Is that right?
It is.
Okay.
It is. So this one was originally described as Cabernet braised beef.
Yes.
So I had to think about what can I do? So I actually got some local, I'm not going to say the name of today, but some local. Okay. Well, Circle 6 Farms local beef
We
ribs.
love Circle 6. We're doing a show with them soon.
Beef ribs that they were hard seared off with salt and pepper. And then they were braised on top of celery, onion, carrots, oregano, thyme, and Cabernet wine for about 5 hours.
Wow.
And then they're pulled off the bone and it's gently shredded up, not too much. Still want it to be chunky. So that course is actually going to be served with a buttery mashed potato, traditional mashed potatoes, nothing too, I don't want to take over the flavor of the beef. I think beef and potatoes just go great together.
And then you just want you don't want them to speak for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot. That's where, do you think, Chef, you could teach people that's where maybe you go wrong, that you suddenly try to put way too much into what you have on the side and then suddenly you don't taste the magic that you did in the main entree?
I totally agree with that 100%. I think there's a lot of people out there that try to be a little bit too fancy on things. I like to keep things simple so the main flavors stand out. I mean, if you order something in a restaurant, what you're ordering is what you want to eat. So if it has too many sauces or even too many garnishes, I think it can affect the flavor, and then it's not exactly what you expected. So
and then you're like, oh my gosh, I prepared this and then I just
I
ruined it. And then the fifth course is homemade strawberry shortcake.
Yes. So I have some organic strawberries actually that I pulled the stem off. I let them soaked in our Pinot Noir Rosé.
Oh, wow.
They soaked for about 6 hours today.
Patience.
So I'm actually serving this course in a wine glass, which will look really cool.
Oh, I'm going to have, by the way, I'm going to have
tonight.
tons and tons and tons of pictures I'll be putting on social so you can see this.
Right. So I'm going to have a little bit of the marinated strawberries down in the bottom of the glass. And then I made a shortbread, which is, I mean, it's pretty traditional, nothing too fancy. I mean, it's flour, it's a lot of butter, it's sugar, it's vanilla.
So I hear that I'm going to have to work out harder, Chuck.
Yeah. So
the good thing about Chris's desserts, he doesn't make them overly sweet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't believe in sweet desserts.
I mean, every dessert we've had in these dinners are that way.
That way.
I mean, you were a pastry. He was a pastry chef.
I owned a bakery in the past, so yeah, that was a lifetime ago. But I still like to do things every once in a while.
And that, by the way, is going to be served with the 2019 Brut Rosé. So this is what you're missing out on if you haven't purchased tickets yet to the next one. It'll be the Tony Tomato one. And we're going into fall, which I love coming here for your farmhouse dinners in the fall. I was here the one night that it snowed on us. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Michelle and I were here, actually. I bought that for her birthday. And suddenly we started to see the snow. Fortunately, we were right near the end.
That was a really cool concept.
Well, it added to it, except for the long drive home.
The
was
snow
scary.
was coming down as the dinner was ending, which was kind of cool.
Did you order that up? Ambiance.
It was, it was an end to an evening, and everybody was full. Had some wine, and it was a nice ride home. And,
we just had to be slipping and sliding and watching the deer. By the way, be careful.
Honestly, things are just so much different out here. just things are different out here as far as the scenery you get.
Yes.
I mean, it's just beautiful, especially even today. I mean, 75 degrees.
Right?
What more can you ask for?
I mean, when do you have that in August, right?
And
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the views here are just beautiful. I mean, if you've never been out, you should totally come out.
Yes.
Our normal a la carte lunch menu is great.
Yes.
But like I said, if it's on a Saturday or Sunday and you're not here by noon, you might not get a
Good
chair
luck.
because we usually have 800 people here by then.
Uh-huh. You got to get out here. Well, Chef Chris, thank you. Appreciate
you again for inviting me in.
Yes. Looking forward to the dinner tonight. I'm going to give you your menu back.
Alrighty.
So we're going to wrap up with Chuck here. For all of you, thank you to Chris, Chuck. It's going to be a phenomenal night. How many people do you have here tonight, by the way?
76, I think.
Woo, Lord. Good for you.
Yes.
And he said 800 on a Saturday. Holy.
Yeah, we could do 900 though.
Oh, okay. We need 100 more of you. So yes, I've been seeing a lot of comments come in. Yes, Debbie, I see all of your comments. Sounds delicious. Never had a homemade pizza. You never had homemade pizza. He also did the shortcake. Kyle is always wanting me to wear a big hat. He loves big hats. So, okay, one of these Wet Your Whistle Wednesdays, I got to come out here in a big hat.
Okay, then I'm going to have to really settle here.
I know, right? I'm going to poke into you. Kathleen said, I love layered desserts in wine glasses, martini glasses, margarita glasses. It is. It's all about the presentation.
It is. Very much so.
He said he's been here 6 years.
Yep.
And he was a pastry chef before that?
Yes. And
owned a bakery?
He was our sous chef for his first couple years. He's just a very good chef as far as putting dinners together. You know, I give him a menu, and it's his to play with.
Yep.
And
he's great. He really is.
He really is good.
So Marie, I don't think I've talked to you before. Marie said, I always hear great things about his place. Well,
thank you.
You got to come now. So as Chris just said, come here. Hopefully you get here early and just enjoy the time, spend with your friends, with your family. I would tell you to go up to the tasting bar, find what you like, grab a bottle, go down. Maybe you hopefully can go down near the band. If not, they've got, how much do you have seating wise outside?
Well, we've got, I think 600 can sit outside. And then we got the
300
in here.
And
then we got the lawn. You know, some people just bring their lawn chairs that show up at 1:30, 2 o'clock because we call it the shack is open, and that's
new, by the way.
That's new, and you can order, and they'll buzz you when your food's ready, and that's where we do our flatbreads, and we do burgers and brats, and we do paninis.
Yeah, great food. Great.
It's pretty quick turnaround.
Again, lunch or dinner, whatever you would like. So all of you that are saying that you want to come out, well, make it happen. Grab your friends, grab your family, and then spread the word. Share these Wet Your Whistle Wednesdays also so people can see the things that we're talking about. As we mentioned, go to defianceridgevineyards.com, and then you can see all the gallery of pictures of all the people having fun. Maybe you'll be in those pictures one day. Otherwise, you also want to look at their calendar of events so you can see when the next farmhouse dinners are. All right, we're going to enjoy this incredible wine, 40th versus 50th anniversary. I don't know. I love them both. So cheers to you.
That's great. It's good to hear. I know Mr. Wagner would love that too. So.
To Chuck, I can't wait. I haven't met Chuck in person, so you got to make that happen.
Yeah.
Next time he comes in.
Yeah.
I don't think he was there when we went to Napa that time. But to all of you, whatever you're drinking tonight, I always remember, be safe, enjoy, and then join us again. We'll be back with you, in a couple weeks? You're going to be in Maine for how long?
I'll be gone the next 2 Wednesdays.
Okay, so I think we'll be back. Well, we'll do something for Wet Your Whistle, but it won't be as good as me and Chuck together.
Be back on the 11th, in fact. That will be the next dinner.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so everybody buy your tickets for the next one. That's the Tony Tomato dinner. We love these. We hope you do as well. It's actually been a busy day. This is the 3rd show I've done today, Chuck. I've actually changed clothes 3 times. Well, one of them was recorded. Have you ever seen Hamilton, by the way? Hamilton's coming to the Fox Theater.
Oh, wow, yes.
So I interviewed Nathaniel Hurst today. You're going to hear that next Wednesday on opening night. What a cool kid. What a cool story, by the way. He's from our area, and he's in Hamilton.
Well, you deserve it. You do a great job.
Oh, you know what? Your staff is so sweet. She's like, Monica, you're such a hard worker. I got 2 to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to give one to my handsome hubbies here. We're going to have a great time tonight. Check out my socials. I'll be tagging Defiance Ridge Vineyards in all of these so you can see the wonderful food that we've had. That's right. He's ready to do it. Wet your whistle, whatever it is, alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Just have a wonderful time. And remember what we always say, be kind.